Hi, Brent. It's Jackie, obviously, on a Sunday afternoon. Totally au casual. And I'm answering your video log about Buckingham and your comments. I thought your review was excellent, and I don't really think that there's anything for me to add to your comments there because I think you covered it very well. Your interpretation was a little bit different from mine. In that, and I guess this is sort of branching off into the feedback you gave me, in that you saw him as reviewing, sort of providing that survey course intro before he gets into discussing specifically digital media in education. And I guess sometimes it's hard for me to let go of my, okay, let's cut to the chase. We've read a lot of this material in other places. I don't really need the Intro 100 survey, so tell me what you want to talk about. But I guess being conscious that this was an introduction to a volume of different pieces, I will cut in some slack and take back my comment that it felt fractured and disconnected to me. So enough about that detour. I wanted to answer your question about the public self online versus the public self in real time. And I think it is somewhat different, not completely, and I think it depends. I think your follow-up question, digital natives versus digital immigrants, is very interesting. I think that I am probably much more candid. Well, no, let me backtrack. I think that it's also influenced by the type of person you are. I think I'm pretty straightforward in my dealings and my commentary, both online or in public. If anything, I think I'm a little more cautious about challenging someone online per se, or questioning what they're doing, because it's just so difficult to get that read on what people's intentions are when they're disconnected from all those bodily cues and facial expressions. So yes, in that sense, I'm perhaps a little more not tentative exactly, but just that step reserved, a step back. In my private self, well, I suppose we have many private selves. We have our inner circle of immediate family, which probably sees us with all our warts and our lack of patience and our other foibles. And then we have a slightly broader private self, which, again, I think has that filter over it, where we play nicely and maybe we don't say the biting comment that is springing to our mind. And so it's interesting. I think we have many veils, and those veils continue to more or less smooth out the rough edges of our personality the further removed we get from the inner private self. And I don't know, maybe I'm speaking only for myself, and maybe this is too egregiously honest, but I don't know that I ever completely reveal the absolute inner core of myself and the thoughts and opinions. And I do have those moments where even in my private world, I think you can't make that comment because once it's out, you can never take it back. So I guess I always have that internal editor on. Although some people would tell you I don't have an internal editor at all, which is very funny. In terms of whether digital natives answer this question differently, I think they probably would, because these things have happened in parallel for them. Since they were infants, they have been online, they have been in the play groups, they have been with their parents, they have been alone. And so rather than a new channel of communication, it is something that has always been there. Whereas for us, it's kind of like being introduced to a new society. We have to learn the rules and the etiquette and the things that are absolutely unforgivable and the things that might have been bad, but people will forgive you for. So I think there's a bit of a difference, but I think that that will close as it becomes more entrenched in society. Anyway, I really enjoyed your piece, so I'm not going to write up much. I'm just going to put a link on our group blog over to my answer here. Thanks, Brent.